Good evening and welcome to our Frank's Great Outdoor pregame show here on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, glad to have you along. We're coming up on week number 4. The season is just about 50% done.
It is, but if you're a Pinconning Spartan fan, the season just began last week when they got their first victory in quite a while. But you know what? They're 1-1 or 1-0 in the last 2 weeks. So opportunity to advance and work on that confidence.
Flint Southwestern Academy comes to town, and they're 0-3, but you know the schedule that they play, and they're playing against some big schools, and you know speed predicate.
Well, I think this is going to be your classic speed versus, slug. Pinconning's going to want to have ground control. They're going to want to try and chew up clock on the scoreboard and try to keep the ball out of the explosive hands of the Flint offense.
When you look at Pinconning, I got to think from a coaching perspective, you have a little different attention to detail this week. Kids' attention spans are a little better after you come off a huge program victory.
Well, I think the big thing after any victory is you notice in the film room, everyone's paying attention. You don't have to look around and see who's maybe on their phone or who's maybe looking at something else or who's just kind of looking into the abyss. Big difference when you win a game and you come off that streak and all of a sudden you have their attention. Like, hey, if we keep doing these things, we're going to have an opportunity to continue to win. And if we continue to win, the confidence, we talk about it week in and week out, especially when you only have 9 games, like each week, how important it is. And when you can get that victory and you can get into that film room and you can get those guys back on the field on Monday and you can say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're looking to accomplish. This is what we're looking to build on. And when you're building on a victory, it's a whole different feeling for the players.
When I look at Coach Mulligan, that is the person that I'm most excited for. The program, the community, the school, all that is good. But Coach Mulligan has fought through so much to believe and continue to believe in what he's trying to build here at the school. So for him to get that victory and to feel like, yes, I do know that my hard work is paying off and good things are ahead.
Well, let's talk about adversity. He's been through enough of it. So those kids in the locker room, those kids that are on the field, those kids that are standing shoulder to shoulder with him, they understand that when he talks about something, they understand that it's not just coach speak. And I think a lot of times you get into those, cliches where coaches just say the same thing over and over. But he has battled, he has won certain battles, and they have seen that. And when they do that, and then again, when you keep working, you keep showing up, because it's not easy to show up when you were facing a winless streak. And they continue to show up, and their numbers are good, and they want to play for this guy. And the fact that they can look at him and see that model, and they go, you know what? If this guy can do it and he believes in us, then let's believe in him.
Well, week 1, JV team comes up with a big victory, so they're starting to see results at the junior varsity level. The last 2 years I've come up here and done the 7th and 8th grade youth ball on Saturday. They're very competitive. So you're finally with a coach in the system long enough to get his system started at the lower level. So in high school, you're fine-tuning instead of teaching.
We talk about it, about certain programs, about what they have done over the years. And the biggest thing that people have to remember is patience. And it's not easy when you're a high school junior. Hey, this new coach or this coach, he wants to preach patience. But, I'm only a junior, so I only got 2 years. But when you start seeing the results from the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and those kids continue to come through the program, Pinconning's really in a good spot right now. And, it's not just about victories, and we talk about it all the time, about moral victories and things of that sort, but really just getting a couple of victories and allowing these other kids to see, hey, you know what, if we keep doing this, we're going to be in the right spot in a couple of years.
Well, we are excited to see if they can make it 2 in a row tonight, as they're expecting a huge crowd. It's homecoming, going to be a lot of alumni here. CJ's going to be getting that 50-50 up around $800-900, so we'll have to grab part of that. But that about puts the wraps on our Frank's Great Outdoors pregame show. Back with what should be an excellent game in just a moment right here on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Good evening and welcome. Week number 4 here at the Pinconning area Spartans against the Flint Jaguars. Jeff Doan, Jason Dusham, and glad to have you along tonight as Nick Page produces, directs, and films the activity tonight. Here's the opening kickoff, a semi-squib kick that's going to be taken on the 20-yard line by the Old Southwestern Academy, now the Flint Jaguars. About a 12-yard return on the play up to the 32-yard line, and that is number 38, Jaquavian Sanders, as he is met in a hurry. So only a 12-yard return on that, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from Flint.
Yeah, the one thing I liked about it was Ethan Skrzyński there, number 50 for the Spartans on the tackle, trying to energize this homecoming crowd here in Pinconning.
Very nice breakdown tackle. Squared up his shoulders, used the sideline to his advantage, and made it work. We're going to have a spread offense with twins to both sides of the field and a single back. Trying to hand that ball up in the middle, and the defense absolutely swarms to the football, led by number 77, Alan Whiting, with that initial hit defensively. It'll be 2nd down and 12 yards to go.
You know, week 1 against Tawas, I was fortunate enough to listen to the game on my way home from where we were, downstate. And the one thing that they kept saying on the radio was how good the interior line of the Pinconning defense was, and that Tawas, even though they were getting it in favorable positions, were unable to move the ball. So right there was a great example of what they were talking about.
So it'll be 2nd down and 12. Running back is Armani Carter, and again a blitzing defense knocks them back to the 20-yard line where they first touched the kickoff, and it will be 3rd down and 22.
Donnie Rugenstein on the tackle right there. He snuck in from the end and the position there and wasn't fooled by the handoff. And
and we've got Josh Thomas limping off the field right now too, and they've got 29 on their roster, but depth is always an issue. So it will be 3rd down and double sticks plus, as the Pinconning defense has come up big twice. Let's see what they can do on a big 3rd down, as the quarterback is adjusting his play calling stuff. As he's back, he's going to try a quick out. That pass is complete for about a 1-yard gain, as looks like Reski is there in a hurry to put the stops on it. So 1 series, minus 11 yards. I would say the defense started off with a statement.
I would say they started off really well, and you talk about pinpoint tackling, good decisions, good assignment defense right there. I think you saw all of that right there in those first 3 plays from the Pinconning Spartan defense.
Isaiah Hoffman deep to return the kick, as he'll be back at his own 45-yard line. Looks like Laster's set to kick for, I'm going to say Flint Southwestern Academy more than once tonight, the Flint Jaguars. There is a very, very high snap, and he's going to get that off, and you're yelling fire. Get away from that thing and don't let anybody touch it. It drops dead at the 42-yard line. Excellent starting field position, flipping the field before the offense even touches the ball. 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good opportunity. Again, we talked about in the pregame. You want to build on what they did last week. Yes, you got the victory, and it's tough when you get that victory to say, hey, guys, we got to put that in the rear view. We got to focus on the Jaguars, but it's going to be a great opportunity. The defense came out playing hot. Let's see what the offense can do.
Up to the line of scrimmage, split backs in the backfield. Kind of going with a little look at a power eye, and the running back number 20, Fork, with the initial carry and a pick up about 3. As that kind of offset eye or the power eye.
Well, I think they call it the single back that Menominee made famous back in the early 2000s with a couple of state championship runs where they don't necessarily have a quarterback and the center has responsibilities are much more incredible than just snapping it to one individual. You got a lot of moving pieces back there to make sure you hit them.
Well, and you must make certain that you have personnel to make that happen. trying to come around the near side of the field. Nice block and a gain of about 6 yards on the play, taking them down to the 34-yard line. And that will be Aiden Fork again. Richardson led the tacklers on the play. Third down and a very manageable one.
Well, it's a manageable one, but you're looking at this as Coach Mulligan. This is a 2-down, second and 1.
Yep, 4-down territory.
Yeah, you're looking to keep that momentum going. And, again, trying to get the diversions back there with all the different options that the backfield can provide the defense, and maybe sneak one out here.
Let's see what they're able to do, and they just power run forward, and they're going to move the sticks. Looked like Cooper Norman is going to move the stack. Look who gets up out of the bottom, old Alan Whiting, the junior, as he just moved the line of scrimmage, and they made it look easy. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Yeah, it gets a nice round of applause from the crowd, a couple of cowbells out there. You got to love the excitement when your team gets that victory and all of a sudden the fans start to believe.
Well, and, their offense is going to be mostly running the ball. Now downfield, just behind the defender. That pass looked like it was complete to Zach Lowers.
Lowers threw the ball. Rugenstein with the catch.
Rugenstein got it.
Yeah. Again, you're running a single wing back there. You don't know where the ball is going, and all of a sudden they're going to pass the ball. You're playing. Your cornerbacks are playing run, get caught sneaking in the backfield, and guess what? Rugenstein just sneaks behind everybody, and Lowers just lays it right into his lap.
Well, Coach Mulligan did the absolute thing. You establish the run, you use that little play fake, and then throw a pretty ball. Lowers put that thing right on track, so it's 1st and goal. Pushing forward.
And touchdown.
In the end zone, it's Cooper Norman with a Pinconning area Spartan touchdown.
Such a good feeling for these Spartan fans, these Spartan players, and, most importantly, Coach Mulligan, because, again, like you mentioned in the pregame, he believes, and he believes in these kids, and he believes in this school system, and, to see this stuff start, again, coming to fruition, woo! I know as a coach what it's like.
Well, and it starts really at the top down, too. They've had great stability from the superintendent down. Now they've got Andy Kowalczyk, who I believe is going to be a long-term fit here in Pinconning. And right straight down through the rest of the administration, they got a passion for Pinconning, and they're starting to see good things come ahead. The extra point is up. It is long enough, and it is good from Enciso. Time on the field with 7:07 left in the first. Pinconning area Spartans 7, and the Flint Jaguars nothing. Back in a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed, and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Caucaulin, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on Bay County TV, Pinconning's defense with a 3-and-out, and then pounds it down on about a 6-play drive into the end zone, as now they're going to spread out a little bit. Enciso will set the kickoff, and everybody backs off, and now they try and drop one down. The ball was loose for a moment, but it looks like the Jaguars are going to come up with it. And very, very nice try, and that shows that you got great confidence in your defense.
Just about to say that, as they say, great minds think alike. You're looking at that momentum, and if you want to give them good field position, but you know what? When you have that much confidence right now, flowing in that defense, it doesn't matter field position. Let's just get the guys back on the field.
As the defensive front three, the nose and the 2 tackles, really have been raining some havoc on that first 3-and-out. So let's see what happens now from their own 46-yard line. The Jaguars 1st and 10.
Got the offensive lineman pointing, going, here, there's number 8. There's Rugenstein. Let's keep an eye on him, guys.
Motion to the wide side of the field, and they reset. Legal formation, and there is a little miscommunication in the backfield, and the quarterback trying to slide forward is Thomas. And he turned, and the running back went the wrong way, and through the timing of that play up, Thomas was lucky to get a couple out of the 2nd down and 8.
He was, but Riley Hill would be in a good position on that Pinconning defense. You know, those are the broken down plays that sometimes kill a coach, where it goes for 15 or 20, where you had everything, defended well. But in this situation, Hill was in the right spot at the right time to limit the amount of damage done there for the 3-yard gain.
So 2nd down and a long 7-yard to go situation. And again, they're doing twins to both sides and a single offset back. Thomas looks over a 4-man front defensively from Pinconning. They're coming with the blitz, and there is absolutely nothing to do. Again, the timing of that play is thrown off by the quarterback having to reach high to even bring that in. And now the Jaguars are going to take a timeout and talk about 3rd down and 7 yards to go. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back on Bay County TV as we look at Coach Walter Mulligan, and everybody in this program had a little different spring in their step this week as they were excited about the victory, but they quickly refocused towards their activities for tonight, hoping to build on that big win last week. Motion to the wide side of the field on a big 3rd down and 7. Again, another high snap. The timing is off, and the defense absolutely swarms to the football again. Led by number 77, Alan Whiting. He's had a monster first quarter.
He's been in a little bit on the offensive side, pushing. He's been on the defensive side with the tackles. But I tell you what, it's, the snap from the center to quarterback, we talk about the fundamentals, and that is as fundamental as you can get in the game of football. If you don't have that done right, it really takes off everything else, whether it's a run-pass option. When your quarterback has to scramble first off to get the ball, and then he's scrambling for his life by the time the Pinconning defense is in the backfield, forget about it.
Well, in this potential punt, and I don't even think they're going to try and punt because they're worried about the exchange. They're going to try and go for it on 4th down and 12. Back throwing this ball deep, and don't intercept the ball when you're going to lose 20-plus yards on the interception.
Pass intercepted by Isaiah.
Hoffman was,
oh, boy.
That's one you're going to be, hey, I got an interception. And the coach is going to be like, hey, next time drop it.
Boy,
knock it down.
In the film room when they're going to end up talking about that, Hoffman's like, hey, great technique. I went up, I grabbed it, and I secured it.
Inside position. I had everything, coach.
But, yep, that one cost them almost 30 yards.
Well, let's just call it what it was. It was an abbreviated punt. They threw it up.
Yep.
Pinconning intercepts it. Flint definitely gains the advantage on that.
1st down. Trying to roll around and doing a great job of spinning away from the first hit was Cooper. And it isn't going to take long for Walter Mulligan to put the ball in the air, too, because they're putting 9 in the box from Flint Jaguars to stop the run. And that does not leave a lot of help back. As Cooper again, he tries to slide to the outside. He's got some running room. He's up to midfield, down to the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25-yard line, down to the 23. As they got a great seal block on the wide side of the field. And, boy, he showed a little burst of speed to the outside.
Mulligan's over there telling him to hurry up. They like that running, moving pace right there, but, they sub, so that's going to take a little time now. He wanted them to keep going. Why slow down, gentlemen?
Aiden Fork into the game.
So when they substitute, the defense has the opportunity, correct or no?
Not in high school.
Okay.
Nope.
So what's the holdup? Are just waiting for the sticks?
Yep.
Okay.
So now the umpire backs off, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pinconning Spartans. Again, sliding to the outside. Breaking a couple of tackles, but maybe just picking up a modest yard on the play was Fork. As Larkin and company with the tackle. But a very, very good job of contained that time by the Flint defense.
Yeah, Demetrius Clark, big time on that tackle for the Jaguars. Again, trying to get to the outside, and, now let's see what they're going to do. Maybe put it back in the air. Oh, a little trickery. Unfortunately, Natashka was not fooling anybody at number 54 on the big tackle right there.
Yeah, Nishatka is, if he gets around the corner away from that initial tackle, he's got a whole lot of green grass, but
I think Elijah Holmes knew that as well, so he wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to be part of that film room talk.
He says, Coach, I had this one done in film study, and I shot the gap, and I was perfect. 3rd down and 14 yards to go for Pinconning, probably from this spot of the field in 4-down territory.
Right. They want to get a modest gain, if for nothing else. Flores will drop back. He's looking, he's not looking.
Well, and a good decision not to throw the ball into a double team. There was nothing really there. So you got 2 choices. You can tuck it and go, or you can throw it away, and he tries to get around the corner and could not make that happen, so it'll be 4th down and about 15 yards to go.
So same situation that Flint was just in. They're going to keep their offense on the field, but if you throw a pass and it's caught down, north of the marker, it's a 1st down, but if they get intercepted, it's a modest punt.
Yep. From the 30-yard line, 4th and 15. Lauer's back, and he's got time. He's rolling to this side of the field, though, and he's trying to get rid of that ball, and he throws it out of bounds.
Nice catch by leader there, number 64.
Yep, he did a great job of catching that, and ball goes over on downs as the Flint defensive backfield on the last 2 plays really covered the receivers well.
Well, it's 3rd and 14, and it really limits. Again, we always talk about your playbook of what you want to be able to do. You want to be 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. You want to be manageable, where you have to keep that defense thinking, is they going to pass or are they going to run? You get to 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15, maybe you'd run a draw here and there. But again, offensively, is that what you're geared for? Are you able to run the draws out of the single back?
Well, they certainly had great success on the first drive, and we'll see how the defense, for the 3rd time in this first quarter with 2:41 left in the first quarter of play. Let's see how that Pinconning Spartan defense handles the Jaguar offense. Again, motion to the wide side of the field, as they're going to go trips to the wide side.
There was definitely
and we're going to have some movement on the offense. And see, when you look at a program like Flint Jaguars, one person out of the 11 that doesn't do their assignment and the whole play breaks down. Here you've got a snap count infraction. Teams like that cannot afford to give away free 5s.
No, they don't want to, and we're watching it, and everybody moves except for the center. So, obviously the communication was lost on an individual. But, again, you want to maintain that discipline. And again, when you're right now, that center is just trying to make sure he snaps the ball to the quarterback cleanly.
Trying to go right up the middle, and again, a really nice open field tackle as Mason gets the carry, and it looked like Sinek with the tackle. Sinek.
Well, it's funny, you go to Bay City, it's Chonic. You come up to Pinconning, it's Sinek.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess
it's the same, only different. So, again, still behind the stick, 2nd down and 13. Sinek doing a really, really nice job, because if Sinek doesn't make that tackle, there's a little bit of room to run.
Well, they're looking for something right now. That Flint squad is looking for a spark, and that would have been, again, the same thing with the broken down play on the last possession. They had an opportunity, and unfortunately Hill was there for the Pinconning defense. So they just need a little bit of a spark is what they're looking for.
Boy, trying to slide to the outside. Again, it looked like a little miscommunication. I don't know that they were trying to fool anything, and the ball goes out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain, and the quarterback is down on the ground. And that quarterback is Joshua Thomas. And he gets up, and he is going to have to come off the field.
He's walking a little gingerly over there. It looked like number 7. Clark, yeah, Demetrius.
And he is in some pain over there on the sideline. So a 3-yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 yards to go for the Flint Jaguars. And again, now when you've got moving pieces, you know how hard that makes things for your offense. Now you've got people that are playing in their non-primary position, and trying to be factors offensively.
Trying to get that fluidity is what you're looking for. And unfortunately, when you start moving the players a couple of positions here and there, or you lose a guy to an injury or a cramp.
We got a delay of game now against the offense as the defense showed blitz, and by the time the quarterback realized it and tried to halt the momentum of that potential blitz, they get called for another 5-yard violation. And boy, that's 10 yards just in the last 3 plays that they've had to go backwards because of a couple of unforced errors. 3rd down and about 14 yards to go. Trying to shoot that ball up in the air, and falling down on the ground is incomplete. Defense provided by Nishatka.
Well, that would have been something right there if the ball would have landed in his lap, though.
Yeah, it actually, from him falling down, almost ended up being a good catch.
Please go follow Pinconning Varsity Football on Instagram.
So on 4th down, it looks like they're going to attempt the punt, and Isaiah Hoffman is going to be deep to return that kick. And I think he's moved up about 10 yards from where he was at the first time there was a punt to see if he can grab something in the air. There it is, a short kick, and again, he does a great job of getting away from it. Well, it's a great Flint roll down to the 44.
Yeah, we say that, and a couple of Pinconning Spartans, you got to be yelling fire. The sideline needs to be yelling fire. Everyone needs to be yelling fire. The crowd needs to be yelling fire.
Get away from it.
Amen.
But at the 45-yard line, another great start for the Pinconning area Spartans with a $1.19 left in the first quarter. And oh, what a difference it makes when the sun starts to set and you can actually see that scoreboard gloriously.
And a nice breeze coming in here in Pinconning Stadium.
It is coming out of the west, so we're not going to feel it like the rest are, but it's a very good night. Here we go with a run right up to the line of scrimmage for Darius Cooper, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. So the defense, after that first series, has made a couple of quick adjustments, and they're neutralizing the run sense.
Well, I think what they've done after that big run that I believe Aiden Fork had, once that run was over, they really buckled down. And that was a big defensive stop right there by Jason Richardson, the defensive lineman for the Jaguars. Not to confuse you with the NBA superstar that went to Michigan State and Saginaw Arthur Hill. Speaking of getting off a little early.
Somebody trying to pull off out of their tackle position, so obviously that was going to be a sweep or a jet of some type. And
well, see, I wonder because Rugenstein went in motion, and I'm wondering if they thought because he started on the end, if they thought maybe he was moving early, but he as the end he can slide out. That was what drew the Jaguar defender off, but obviously the official threw the flag and said, you know what, we're going to call it at number 8. I already threw the flag, let's just call it.
Yep, got to have something there. So he was certain that he didn't even ask to the head linesman or the line judge. So Lauer's back to throw, and a beautiful pass out in the flats intended for Lalonde. And Lalonde was trying to peek upfield before he had it. Pretty well defended, though, that time by the Jaguar defense.
Yeah, nice pass. It was right on the money. I think Lalonde was maybe peeking to get a little ahead, but he was also trying to create separation. And in the meantime, he don't forget the football.
Well, and had he been able to even catch that and get 5 or 6 yards, would have made the 3rd down a little bit more manageable. Now trying to roll upfield, and that ball carrier again was Darius Cooper, and Cooper only picks up a modest gain of about a yard on the play. Virtually no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down, and this is the end of the first quarter, and our score, the Pinconning area Spartans 7 and the Flint Jaguars nothing. Back in a moment for the second quarter on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here on Bay County TV, this is a headlinesman dream at the end of the first quarter. virtually they didn't have to move the chains. Midpoint was the 50, and so now it'll be a punting situation for the Pinconning area Spartans. And a single back in the return for the Jaguars. Look at a high end-over-end kick. And, boy, that's going to take a huge bounce for the Jaguars, and that's going to only end up being about a 20-yard kick. As that thing got up so high in the air, it looked like a 9-iron coming into the green. It backed up, and the Pinconning area Spartans were a little slow in reacting to hitting that ball quick. Cost them probably 7-8 yards.
Well, Nashaka got a great leg into it, and a great hang time. It was perfect hang time for high school to allow your defense to get down there. And then once it hit, it just kept going the wrong direction.
So from the 40-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from Flint. A little late substitution coming on. It's a little easier to work with 5 offensive linemen.
So we've heard.
Yes. So again, they're staying with the twins to both sides. No motion for Thomas. And again, being stuck in the backfield, spinning free, and not really having a whole lot of area to go to. There's going to be about a 4-yard loss as the Spartan defense just swarms to the football. Seeing that with the initial hit.
A squadron of Spartans, the announcer says. But I tell you what, I would say there were 7 Spartans that touched him, 7 out of the 11 defenders.
And again, number 4 looks like Nation Tyler is coming up a little slow, and coach says, stay in the game. Suck it up. Well, I'll come off now.
Well, first time he broke 3, I thought maybe he was going to have a chance to turn it into something. But again, the Spartan defense is not over-penetrating. They're really maintaining their positioning out there on the defensive side.
Well, they've stayed very gap sensitive, and again on this they're coming around as the quarterback comes around the corner with an opportunity to make a play and
slips,
just blows a tire.
You know, we talked about it back a couple weeks ago. You know, the weather has been really warm. Tonight will be one of the first nights where the temperature is going to start dropping, and we're always going to talk about the dew on the field and how that's going to play with a lot of the cuts. And if you don't get that foot planted in the right way, you're just going to take a dive down. So that looked exactly what he did. He just kind of blew a tire coming around the corner.
And it's a little early for dew to be a factor, but you know, maybe the Flint Jaguars are playing a fair amount of games on turf, and on natural grass, you got a whole different feel. So 3rd down and 15 yards to go. Thomas back, and he throws one out on the wings, and he airmails his wide receiver, that time number 38, Jaquavian Sanders. So that'll be another 4th down situation where in 3 plays the Jaguars go 5 yards back, and the Pinconning area Spartans ought to get some good field position out of this.
I think right now, if you're looking from a defensive standpoint, the Spartans may have the Jaguars in a negative total yardage.
Oh, I'm quite certain that they're probably 15 or 20 to the negative right now. But they're only 1 missed tackle away from going big. So now as that ball goes, and the ball is going to be picked up. Actually, very nice job picking that up by Hoffman, because otherwise that thing's going to roll for another 10, 12 yards. But if you're going to touch it, you better make 100% certain that you're coming up with the ball.
You will have to scoop that and tighten it real quick, because you know that hit was coming real quick. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I thought they said Isaiah Thomas on the tackle and Jason Richardson out there. It's like an NBA All-Star team.
We're going to have a flashback in time to Indiana and Jay Rich back from Arthur Hill.
It's a Big Ten reunion.
On the keeper, banging forward for a nice gain on the play. Looked like Fork.
Yeah, Fork gets another nice 4 or 5 yard gain here on 1st down. Again, now you're in 2nd down and 4, 2nd down and 5 range, and all of a sudden you got a lot of different options back there.
And Aaron Blockton with the initial hit defensively, but when your defensive backs are making the first hit, that's a great sign for the offense. 2nd down and a long 5 yard to go situation. Spartan offense. Again, trying to slide around the corner, picking up the 1st down and more is number 20, Aiden Fort. So finally knocked out of bounds by Nation Tyler and Smith. So It'll be another 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Just 9:22 left here in the second quarter, first half. This would be a big spot right here for the Spartans to put some points on the board.
I think a great spot to not only put points on the board, but take a chunk of the first half clock along with it.
Correct. Getting the ball in the start of the second half. Again, you're always looking ahead, trying to figure out what you want to be able to do as Fork takes the direct snap and
picks up 7.
Yeah. Patient runner. You know, you have to be patient in this. You first off, you got to get the snap, and it's not like you're getting the ball from the quarterback, so you're getting it directly. So you have to let everything develop in front of you. You got to make sure your guards are blocking, your tackles are pulling, whatever's happening out there, and then hit the right spot.
Well, and they're running strong left, strong left, strong left, and they're running left. But what you're going to do at one of these options is go with the counter and see if you can break one big to the outside.
Yeah. On cue, they're not running
no
the
need
counter,
to do that when they're just coming to the near side of the field. Aiden Fork just making it look easy, and they're really doing a nice job of sealing the defensive end away from it. So it's down to the 32, another 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans.
And I was incorrect. I believe I said 7 minutes a little bit ago. It was 9 minutes, and now we got 8 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. You know, the one thing that Coach Mulligan has done is they went hurry up initially on a couple of their first 2 possessions, and now they're really just taking their time, making sure they have the right play call, make sure they have the right alignment out there, and it's really paying off in the positive gains.
Lowers with the toss downfield. What a great catch by Isaiah Hoffman. Hoffman goes up, catches the ball at his highest point. Very well defended that time, and enough to move the sticks.
I don't think there was anything wrong with any of that play, from the pass to the defense to the catch. I mean, it was all textbook right there. And, you know, in this situation, how many times has Pinconning not caught that pass or over airmailed that pass? Now,
or
again,
under, yep.
Yeah, now it's the confidence does so much more for you. You're playing bigger. Your chest is bigger. Everything is bigger right now here in Pinconning.
Well, Lowers has done a great job as Fork goes forward, and he's going to bang forward to about the 5-yard line. So he's going to pick up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 9 as the Spartans again have only chewed up about 2.5 minutes, but boy, they're really moving the ball.
They're moving the ball. Fork's doing a nice job, but again, you talked about it. Establish that run, and then all of a sudden you got Lowers making. He has had some really pinpoint passes in this game tonight, and everything has been at least catchable for his offense.
Lowers banging forward, and he's down to about the 1-yard line.
No, Norman's going to get the carry. Yeah, the up guy, the up back.
And he's their bruiser.
Brings up 3rd and goal from around the 2-yard line.
Well, I'm going to say, yep, just inside that 2-yard line. So I think you see more of the same. I don't think that you mess with it. I think you're going to go Norman again and see if he can bang one between the tackle and the end.
Well, this is where, as a coach, you try not to outthink yourself.
And that's exactly what they do. And they're down in, touching the goal line and in. It's Norman and a Pinconning area Spartan touchdown.
What a difference in this atmosphere from other times where we've been here in the last couple of years. I mean, it's electric. This is what I remember Pinconning sports, not just football, but Pinconning sports having such a great history out here. And this fan base will support them.
Well, you remember Kleinhans and Doty, which had great stretches out here. So nice to see them coming back as they try for the extra point. Is up. It's plenty long. And it's good. And Cecil with the extra time out of the field with 6:44 left in the first half. Oh, yes. Your eyes do not deceive. The Pinconning area Spartans with a very convincing 14-0 lead over the Flint Jaguars. Back for the last 6:44 of the first half in just a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spiritwear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spiritwear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride.
Back here on BCTV as the Pinconning area Spartans. Let's see now. They are going to try another one of those onside kicks, and that is gobbled up by Amore. And it will be from the 48-yard line.
They're really not looking to put that ball in the gaps. They kind of be going almost are going directly at the Jaguars. Almost Bobby Boucher moment where you just kick it at the guy whose eyes are the biggest.
Well, what you're also doing with that is you're ensuring that they're not going to break a tackle and go 80 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, you want to make sure you maintain this momentum. And, I mean, again, look at the sideline. You got ball boys, you got water boys. Everyone's high-fiving everybody down there. It's just a great sight to see.
Little miscommunication on the offensive setup. Now they're going to go with trips to the wide side of the field. They're running out of time. They only got 5 seconds left to get this play off. Now they run motion to this side. They're going to call timeout because they are just not all on the same page. That's their second timeout. They've got one remaining with 6:42 left in the first half. Back in a moment on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And build
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham, glad to have you along as Nick Page produces, directs, and films tonight. 1st and 10 for the Flint Jaguars as they're going to try and cut upfield again. And a very nice job of a blitzing defender, and that is number 50 on the play. Straczynski with that initial hit. Straczynski didn't even look like he was hit. He just shot a gap, and nobody touched him. And as soon as the ball carrier looked up, he had a Straczynski right in his face.
He had number 50 squared up, almost like he wasn't sure who he was supposed to hand it off to. Nice to see, though. I'm glad to see Nation Tyler, number 4, on that carry back on the field after he limped off the last possession.
But a 5-yard loss on first down. It'll be second down and a long 15.
Seems to be a trend, which if you're a Pinconning fan, you love to see that trend continue.
Again, twins to the near side, twins to the far side with a single back. Now they're trying to figure out that snap count to make sure that they're all on the same page. And another one dropped down. The ball is loose as number 70. Let's see, what is the number of the defensive lineman? It's 74. I don't have one. He came back. He took the running back. He took the quarterback. He just pounded them both.
Everything but the fumble recovery.
The ball squirted out, and the Pinconning area Spartans climb on it and will be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of the Jaguars.
Just as we were about to talk about how important it was for the Flint to get some positive momentum going in before halftime, the defense again for Pinconning steps up at the right time.
Indeed, at the right time. Strong right. Trying to come to the near side of the field and trying to bust away is the running back, Cooper.
Darius Cooper.
He ran backwards. He tried to strong-arm the defender for the Jaguars, and unfortunately when that happened, there was more white jerseys than green helping him out.
Well, again, when your first step is avoidance, it's really tough after you get the ball to really make anything happen because you really haven't gotten your momentum going. But I credit a good defensive play on a loss of 5.
Yeah, not everyone back there is a Barry Sanders when they touch the ball with a vision that we can, uncanny vision. But you don't want to be running for your life immediately.
Let's see if they can try and get 5 or 6 out of this. Lowers is going to throw that ball downfield, and again, it's complete to number 13, Isaiah Hoffman. I tell you what, he has got glue. You better check to see if he's got a little of that sticky on there. He might be playing for the Raiders. 1st and 10, just inside the 20. Another great throw from Lowers.
Great throw, great catch, double team. Went up and made sure he secured the ball before hitting the ground. That's not a lot going on when you hit the ground there, so making sure that ball doesn't pop up, make sure that ground doesn't cause that to come loose.
And as you talk, Jason, it is great defense. Look at the patience cutting to the outside for number 16. Cooper turns the corner. He's down sniffing the goal line. He's out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. So, Cooper, did you see how much time it took him until that seal block came on the edge, and then he knew that he wasn't going to have to cut it back, and he just used his speed and got down inside the 5 to about the 3.
I see this outside of Norman. I see a lot of these backs that are getting the ball and getting these runs for Pinconning would really prefer to be able to work that ball outside where they get their speed going. In that situation, again, it's all about patience. Wait, go.
Look for Norman to get his hands on the ball, and he does. He bangs forward. He's tickling the goal line. He's into the end zone. It's another Pinconning area Spartan touchdown. I can never get too used to saying that. Wow. And feel and see and hear the electricity from the crowd, too, that are here and just loving what they're seeing.
Well, of course they are. Now they're standing up. You got the fight song going. It's, there's been a lot of times where that hasn't played. Now they're playing. Right. They play 3 times here in the first half.
And Seatsko gets that thing just over the crossbar. Up and good. Time out of the field with 4:22 left in the first half. Pinconning area Spartans 21. The Flint Jaguars nothing. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back here on Bay County TV, as the Pinconning area Spartans with 3 unanswered touchdowns here in the first half with a 21-0 lead. As now they're going to get that ball down and again just gobbled up and pounced on and cradled at the 31-yard line by number, it looked like 33, and I don't see a number 33.
32, number 32.
32, McDaniel.
Sophomore Darian McDaniel for the Jaguars. Relatively young team for Flint. They got a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores, a handful of freshmen on the team. All getting good experience, all getting good opportunity here tonight.
And again, the Flint Jaguars have got more than sufficient team speed. They just haven't had a chance to get anything going with the Pinconning defense just stifling in the first half.
And I'm going to give all the credit to Coach Mulligan and his staff on the defensive side of it. They really came to play to make sure that they were staying disciplined.
There's a pass downfield. Very, very nice throw. And that is complete on the play to Jaquavian Sanders. And I believe that play might have gotten as much offensive yardage as they've picked up the rest of the half.
Oh, I agree. 100%. That was one of those situations where he snuck behind the defense. The ball was put up early. But you want to know what? It started with the snap. They've struggled with that here in the first half. That's something they're going to need to address come halftime. And when you get a clean snap, all of a sudden it makes your offense look a little bit more efficient.
Well, it definitely keeps it in sync. And now the ball's down on the ground, and there's nothing but Pinconning area Spartans around it. And it is official now. The Pinconning area Spartans were playing Kirby down there, vacuuming up.
Number 74 with the recovery. I was trying to catch a name because he did not make our roster.
We'll find out at the half.
He's been all over the place. We've been calling 74 a couple of times.
And I would say that might be a fifth quarter kid coming up, but he's played in both quarters, so that wouldn't be somebody necessarily from the junior varsity. So that will be first and 10 Pinconning.
I gotta wait for the change. They're like, what happened? Now we're going
to have the third timeout of the first half by the Jaguars. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Back here on BCTV, the cheerleaders are having something exciting to cheer about tonight as they're having a great time in front of this homecoming crowd. 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 30-yard line. 3:49 left, and that is the counter play that I thought for sure they were going to run. That ball is loose, and
fumble on the play.
Not sure that, nope, it is going to go right back. And boy, is that ever tough, Coach, when you get a fumble recovery and then you give it back. They finally ran that counter play and looked like had that exchange gone cleanly, they had some turf.
They did, and again, three different Spartans, just to show you how funny the game of football is. That ball does not just bounce normal. It hits the turf and the grass in this situation, and it goes this way, that way. You try and put your hand on it. You think you're underneath it. It slides out from underneath you. Next thing you know, the ball squirts loose, and the Jaguars pounce on top of it. So they'll get great field position starting at the 35 of the Spartans.
Well, that's actually the 25.
Yeah.
Yep, they're in better shape than you thought. And again, got 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, all with man coverage. Is he going to have time to throw the football? That's the question, as they're going to pitch this thing to the outside, and one of the defenders falls down, and a positive gain of about 8 yards and we're going to have a penalty flag at the end of that play. And normally when it's out there, I only see one white shirt, so a lot of times it might be a face mask.
So in high school football, as I'm going to do the Ask the Official segment here on Bay County Sports TV, is
I get paid extra for this, right?
Do they have?
Yes, they do. 5 and 15.
5 and 15.
Yep.
Against Pinconning.
And when it's inadvertent and you only grasp it instead of tug on it, it's a good call for 5.
So in this situation, is it 5 yards from the end of the run?
End of the run.
Okay.
Yep. So it'll be enough to move the sticks in another 1st and 10 for the Jaguars from Flint.
Well, they're giving.
Distance, 1st and goal, Jaguars.
So they must have called that a personal foul with half the distance.
Yeah, he walked it off a little bit more than 5, I thought.
Yep.
No, again.
So I did not see the slash across the wrist for a personal foul, but that's what it had to be.
Well, now with just under 3 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the first half. Again, I was about to call them the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And there is a missed snap again. And that really didn't look like a terrible snap. I just think the quarterback, Thomas, might have been peeking.
Oh, no, that's not Thomas back there. That's your buddy number 10, Jakari. Go ahead. Kilo
Shapovalli.
Yeah, that's it. That's the quarterback at the moment.
Yes.
Him.
Kilo Shapovalli just was peeking up. I had to look down. I haven't done it since before the game started, but that's a tough loss on the play all the way back to about the 16-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 16, 2.5 and counting left in our first half.
And again, talking about trying to find something positive for the Jaguars to build on going into halftime. They're at the 8-yard line in 2 plays. Now all of a sudden they're back on the other side just south of the 20.
Well, that was just a very, very tough play. And I'm trying to see right now. It looks like Youngblood, the ball carrier. The numbers are hard to see at this time of the night. This is the last year we're going to have trouble with that because they're going to be all blocked and double outlined in the future. After this football season, this will not be an issue anymore.
Well, it'll make it a lot easier for old folks like myself.
Us.
Not so much young people like you.
Us peoples. And again, with $1:45 left, it's 3rd and goal now, and they're all the way back behind the 20. They've used all 3 of their timeouts, so they can't even sit and talk about things. Now they're down to the last 5 seconds. Are they going to be able to get this play off? They look like they're going to do it, but the clock is down to a minute and a half. Throwing that ball, and it is complete, but for virtually no gain on the play. As back there is Scenic. As number 20. Quintez Quid. And it'll be 4th and goal. Now we're approaching 1 minute left, and again, no timeouts remaining for Flint.
Not sure that's a horrible thing right now. I mean, keep the ball. Pinconning likelihood of being able to go 80 yards in under a minute. So let the play clock go down, even if you take a penalty here. You know, and even if you wanted to take another chance and maybe throw one up to almost like a Hail Mary, I'll call it, from the 20-yard line, but put something toward the end zone.
Well, and I don't think you want to take a delay here, because I don't think you want to take a chance on going back another 5 and trying to hit pay dirt. And the 10 seconds has just started from the back judge. So they're going to try and throw that ball downfield and behind the defender. And it looks like a great catch in the end zone for a Flint Jaguar touchdown.
For a Jaguar touchdown.
Well, we got an injured quarterback, I believe, back here around the 30-yard line.
And the teammates that were trying to run to his aid, everyone's yelling at them to stay away. I believe it's actually a lineman. I don't think that is the quarterback. It was a nice throw, nice catch, nice readjustment on the catch. Almost looked a little center fielder-esque out there. Had to readjust. Not that there's a lot of wind out here, but had to readjust a little bit on the sails and brought it in.
The receiver ran a really nice route and got behind the defender and turned around, and with his face to the quarterback, just went up in the air at its highest point and came down. And again, back judge did a nice job of being patient to make certain that they were not going to drop the ball with the force of the ground hitting it. And they maintained possession. He went up with the hands, and that's a huge turn of events for the Flint Jaguars. But to start the second half, the Pinconning area Spartans are going to get their hands on the football. So they'll be up probably 14 or 15 points at the half and have an opportunity to start the second half with that first possession. So we're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back for the two-point conversion on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. We're glad to have you along here late in the first half. Pinconning up 21-6, pending the try for extra point that gets absolutely smoked by Cooper Norman. The conversion is no good. Again, with time out of the field with 27 ticks left in the first half. 15-point lead for Pinconning. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Back on Bay County TV with 27 ticks left in our first half of play. Is Coach, you made a nice point. You know, the Jaguars are going to kick off to start the second half. You might as well get a little sneak peek at what they're going to offer you.
Well, yeah, if you're going to give up a touchdown like that, there's nothing too bad to be done about being able to say, hey, what do they do on their special teams? Are they looking onside? Are they squibbing it? Were they, what their formation was? Alignment, who's kicking? You didn't even have a chance to know who their kicker is. You can watch it on film, but, obviously you just adjust your personnel as you go.
And number 24 here, he's got to have his foot inside that 35, but they're going to just let him go. And there's a deep end over end kick. It's going to be taken by the Spartans.
Hoffman on the
up and trying to curl around the corner, and he's going to get up to the 39-yard line with 21 ticks left. And
21 ticks and 3 timeouts. So, Laura's been throwing a really nice ball. Hoffman's been catching a lot of nice balls. maybe take a chance, at least see if you can get 20, 25 yards here on first down, and if not, take a knee and go into halftime up 15.
The way Lowers is throwing the ball, I would at least take an opportunity to do it. But, Lowers has got to understand you could not make a bad throw here and give up points defensively on a pick six. So I see a run formation here and head into the half. There's a great play and an opportunity to get out of bounds. What a great job that time by Cooper, as he gets a huge chunk of real estate, and they don't even have to use a timeout, and they only had 1 second come off that clock. So I think they're going to readjust that. I think they're going to bring it down to about 15.
Just looking at the clock, a second ago there was 21 seconds. That was there we go, 15 seconds.
Yep.
They're going to call it a 6-second run.
I had that figured out. I had the old 6-second clock in my head going, Jason.
Abacus? You have all your mathematical tools.
Yes, indeed, right along with the abacus. First down again, Cooper to the outside, and he is going to bang forward, and he is going to pick up about 8 yards, and it's another 5 seconds. And so now you're at the point where Lowers at least is going to have 2 opportunities to get that ball towards the end zone.
Well, 5 seconds each play, and running, they run, 17 yards. 17 yards on the 2 plays. Brings up a second down and, let's call it a long 2. Short 3, long 2.
Yes, I like the 2 yards to go. As, again, they're using the strong formation to the right. And there's a free 5 yards.
Flags on the play.
And it's definitely got to be on the defense because they were just readjusting their offensive set, and the defense moved on first motion. There was nothing there.
No,
and they're going to call it a false start on the offense.
So what are they seeing that we're not? All it was an adjustment. And I believe it was the same call that they had in the first quarter, where Rugenstein, all he was doing was readjusting his positioning, which is legal, and the defense jumped.
Well, I would say that it's legal unless you're already down in the 3-point, and that's the part I didn't see prior.
Okay.
If you're already in the 3-point, you cannot readjust.
And you can't make a forward motion.
Correct, but they went laterally, but I got to believe that they were in the 3-point, and that must have been what they called.
That's a big 5 yards right there to go against the Spartans.
Well, downfield, and that is out of bounds with 5 ticks left in the first half.
Pass for Braden Slowinski, the senior from Pinconning.
And with Slowinski being around the 20, I believe they're going to have to get that ball down inside the 10 for a reasonable opportunity for a field goal attempt.
Well, with 5 seconds right now, I think you're just looking for maybe a little jailbreak, try to get something happening, try to maybe get Flint on their heels. Maybe Flint's sending their guys back, obviously just having the opportunity to score on the Pinconning defense in a similar fashion.
Does Coach Mulligan have a little hook and ladder up his sleeve here at the end of the half? That would be a thing of beauty.
No, I think he's going to go with what's been working.
And that is just going to be a simple run, and that is the end of our first half of play by Fork. At the end of our first half, Pinconning Area Spartans 21 and the Flint Jaguars 6. We'll be back in a moment. We'll recap the first half, set the stage for the second half, right here on BCTV.
The Pinconning Varsity Dance Team is honored to celebrate school spirit. Through their excitement and enthusiasm, they will take us on an exhilarating halftime journey. Get ready to witness an enchanting display of rock and roll with the Varsity Dance Team, directed by Elena Bernrider, Kaylee Grew, and Brandy Berger.
Come on.
The big disgrace, waving your banner all over the place. We will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you. Your varsity dance team. Please welcome the Pinconning High School Marching Band under the direction of Miss Megan Corky. The Marching Spartans are led on the field by drum major Jacob Stoneback and drum major Trinity Briggs. This season, the Marching Band will take us on a journey back in time to the 1970s, a time of bell-bottoms, platform shoes, and the musical sensation known as the Jackson 5. This evening's show will feature the songs I Want You Back and I'll Be There. The following students were chosen by their peers to represent their class in balloting conducted earlier this month. Representing the freshman class is Miss Layla Boko. Layla is the daughter of Michael and Bridget Coco. Layla is a valuable member of the PHS volleyball team and plans to play basketball and softball for Pinconning later this year. Layla also serves as Chief Science Officer and is a member of Peer Mentors. Outside of school, Layla enjoys travel softball, wakeboarding, and tubing on the boat, traveling, shopping, and spending time with friends and family. Miss Layla Coco. Representing the freshman class is Miss Parker Ramsey. Parker is the daughter of Benjamin and Melissa Ramsey. Parker is co-captain of the freshman volleyball team and plans to play softball this spring for the Spartans. Parker is also a valuable member of Student Council, the Yearbook, and the freshman Powder Puff team. Outside of school, Parker enjoys traveling, shopping with her mom, playing travel softball, working with her dad, and spending time with friends and family. Miss Parker Ramsey. Representing the sophomore class is Miss Addison Cooley. Addison is the daughter of Ryan and Amanda Cooley. Addison is a valuable member of the JV volleyball team, the dance team, and the Powder Puff team. Outside of school, Addison enjoys ATV trail riding, beach days, and travel volleyball. Miss Addison Cooley. Representing the sophomore class is Miss Alyssa Sinicki. Alyssa is the daughter of Chad and Carrie Sinicki. Alyssa is a valuable member of the Spartan volleyball team. Outside of school, Alyssa enjoys hunting, skiing, fishing, shopping, and camping with her family. Miss Alyssa Sinicki. Representing the junior class is Miss Claire Donahue. Claire is the daughter of Jason and Christy Donahue. Claire is a member of the Pinconning High School's National Honor Society. Outside of school, Claire is a level 10 gymnast and competitive dancer at Bay Valley Academy. Claire also enjoys painting and spending time with her friends and family. Miss Claire Donahue. Representing the junior class is Miss Annabea Woodruff. Annabea is the daughter of Derek and Julian Talaga. Annabea has been a valuable member of Student Council, the dance team, and the Student Advisory Committee. Annabea also serves as the team manager for the football team. Outside of school, Annabea enjoys doing her nails and spending time with her friends. Miss Annabea Woodruff. The following 6 individuals represent the class of 2024 this evening. Each is eligible to be crowned Pinconning High School Homecoming Queen 2023. Your first senior representative is Miss Kaya Billingsley. Kaya is the daughter of Brad and Teresa Billingsley. Kaya is a valuable member of the Pinconning High School volleyball, soccer, and dance teams, as well as the National Honor Society, United Way, and Student Council. Outside of school, Kaya enjoys drawing, dancing, shopping, and spending time with friends and family. Upon graduation, Kaya plans to attend a 4-year university to pursue a degree in marketing. Miss Kaya Billingsley. Representing the senior class is Miss Lexi Drouse. Lexi is the daughter of Jeff and Susie Drouse. Lexi is a valuable member of the Pinconning High School soccer, volleyball, bowling, and track teams. Lexi is also a member of the National Honor Society and Student Council. Outside of school, Lexi enjoys skiing, camping, boating, volunteering at Camp Daggett, and spending time with her friends and family. Upon graduation, Lexi plans on attending Central Michigan University to pursue a career in recreational therapy. Miss Lexi Drouse. Representing the senior class is Miss Kinsey Chakis. Kinsey is the daughter of Michael and Lori Jacobs. Kinsey is a valuable member of the Pinconning cross-country and track teams. Kinsey is also a member of the National Honor Society, Student Council, and Peer Mentors. Outside of school, Kinsey enjoys running, biking, and spending time with friends and family. Upon graduation, Kinsey plans on attending Saginaw Valley State University to pursue a career in nursing. Miss Kinsey Jacobs. Representing the senior class is Miss Michaela Merrithew. Michaela is the daughter of Mike and April Merrithew. Michaela is a valuable member of the PHS golf team as well as Student Council, the National Honor Society, Peer Mentors, and SAE. Outside of school, Michaela enjoys painting, swimming, and reading. Upon graduation, Michaela plans on attending a trade school to become a welder. Miss Michaela Merrithew. Representing the senior class is Miss Madison Schultz. Madison is the daughter of Don Schultz and Kayla Schultz. Madison is a valuable member of the PHS volleyball and softball teams as well as the National Honor Society. Outside of school, Kayla enjoys shopping, travel softball, watching movies, and spending time with friends and family. Upon graduation, Kayla plans on attending a four-year university to pursue a career in physical therapy. Miss Kayla Schultz. Madison Schultz, excuse me. Representing the senior class is Miss Shelby Boulders. Shelby is the daughter of Bob and Misty Boulders. Shelby is the varsity volleyball libero. Shelby is also in studio art and dual enrolls at Delta College. Outside of school, Shelby enjoys dancing, drawing, spending time with her dog Phoebe, and spending time with her sisters and friends. Upon graduation, Shelby plans on attending a four-year university to pursue a career in criminal psychology. Miss Shelby Boulders. At this time, we are honored to welcome back the 2022 homecoming queen, Miss Daylin Bain. Daylin is the daughter of Matt and Tanya Bain. Daylin is currently attending Protege Academy, pursuing a career in cosmetology. The entire student body and staff of Pinconning Area High School voted this week to determine who would receive the honor of being crowned Homecoming Queen 2023. We are privileged to have District Superintendent Andy Kowalczyk, High School Principal Kyle Woodruff, and School Board President Mark Kucher with us this evening to help with the crowning ceremony. At this time, I have the privilege of announcing the results of the balloting held earlier this week. Your second runner-up, Madison Schultz. Your first runner-up, Kinsey Jacobs. Your 2023 Homecoming Queen, Kaya Billingsley.
Back at the Village Towing halftime show, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, glad to have you along. Great to see you first half where the Pinconning Spartans all but a couple of plays dominated the first half.
Yeah, I agree. And, we talked about it even off the air, just how important it was for these guys to be able to continue their momentum, and they did everything they wanted to do. And then at the end of the first half, Flint, give them credit, sneaks the guy behind the secondary of the Pinconning defense. They get a touchdown, get a little momentum. But what I liked the most is they came back out, they ran the ball a couple of times, they reestablished their momentum. If there was another minute left in that first quarter or first half, I really feel that Pinconning was in the right direction. So kind of, let's again forget about the touchdown. Let's go back to what we do.
All game long in the first half. Started with the first drive. That was the defense making statement after statement.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about it, believing without having the actual numbers in front of us that Flint was at the negative yardage as total yards. And, up until that last possession where they got some things happening, where they got their touchdown, really Pinconning has really dominated the defensive side of it. Rugenstein's been in there a couple of times disrupting. Whiting's been back there disrupting. Sinnick's been back there disrupting. Really getting it very difficult for the Flint offense to really operate.
Predictably unpredictable on the offense as well in the first half because they established the run and then some very nice Lowers passes and some great receptions to really balance out the first half for that offense.
Yeah, he's made some great passes, but more importantly, Hoffman, number 13 for the Spartans, has really gone up and made some incredible catches. He's made 2 or 3 where, you're kind of going, hey, you're throwing a double team, not a good pass, and all of a sudden it's caught, and you're like, great pass. Yeah, absolutely. Just the way we drew it up. But it goes back to the running game. When they get it down, they haven't been able to stop Norman for 2 or 3 yards, which is great, but they got a couple of the other backs kind of moving around a little bit, shaking a little bit, getting the outside a couple of times. And, again, I think if they're able to maintain that and continue to do that, get that Flint defense off balance, and then all of a sudden you got Loris popping a pass in there, they kind of have them right where they want, but it's going to be about adjustments here going into the second half.
Well, I got to tell you, Coach, I felt big time at halftime because we ran down to the concession stand quick. Who's sitting there waiting for us to come off the field? And that's Coach. Coach says, just like big time halftime report where you're going to talk. And Walt Mulligan talks to us for a few minutes. We reinforce that we love what we saw and fix a couple of things and more of the same in the second half. And he was talking with Morley Frazier, so it was big dogs everywhere down there.
I agree. And, how great is it as a coach being able to have your former mentor be on site watching a game like this? I mean, I've had quite a few. Coach Debo specifically when he was coaching with me. It was a special moment when you knew that they were watching over you and when they were able to give you some confidence and some positive reinforcement. You can't really make much out of that with the reinforcement you get from your mentors.
Well, with the second half like the first, you'll be hearing the victory bell for the second time this year. We are excited about the possibilities. That about puts the wraps on our Village Towing halftime show on BCTV. Back in a moment with all the excitement of the second half right here.
So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam or give us a call at 989-684-9607.
Back here ready to rock and roll in the second half. My old boss at Bay City Central, now the superintendent of schools up here, Andy Kowalczyk, got an opportunity to spend a couple of minutes with him as well at the half, as he's just done a fantastic job and natural job for him. He's back home where he grew up, and it's kind of his dream job, and I look for him to have great longevity up here.
Well, he had a busy halftime after speaking with us. He had to go crown a homecoming queen.
It's all priority based. He saw us first, and nothing else mattered.
I didn't remember us being crowned anything.
Oh, we've been crowned a few times. Again, the Pinconning area Spartans have an opportunity to make the first offensive statement of the third quarter in getting their hands on the ball first.
Yeah, it's going to be, again, we talked about a little bit of halftime, but adjustments here. What is Flint going to try to do to counter what hasn't worked? And I think really for them is just getting their snap count down and their snaps down in general, as a little squib kick, picked up cleanly.
Boy, you can't switch directions, but just as I say that, he goes, I'll tell you, you can, Mr. Doan. You get up to the 45-yard line when you switch directions. And that was Fork.
Yeah, Fork with a nice, honestly, it looked like a shortstop out there. Nice little clean pickup, and just like Derek Jeter would, made something happen.
It'll be 1st and 10 with great field position for the Pinconning area Spartans here to start this third quarter.
I look for a statement drive here, whether it's chewing up some clock or looking to get a couple of big plays, but definitely look for something here that Coach Mulligan may have seen with the defensive coordinator, or excuse me, the offensive coordinator, maybe watching from what they can do to expose this Flint defense.
I say they're just going to show with a little feed me on the offense, little 7-yard gain to start this second one as the ball carrier Fork and another player from Flint Jaguars getting up slowly.
Oh.
And this is one of the things you worry about as a coach. It's crispied up a lot out there as after the sunset. It's getting chilly. Are your players not quite ready to be stretched out? And it looks like Tyler is that player, and he almost looks by the way he's running off that he may have gotten hit south of the border.
Yeah, I think he's just going to walk up a little gingerly. Just let me get to the sideline, coach. I'll be good here in a play or two. Let me cough a couple of times. What to tell you in the doctor's office.
Yeah, but he'll be ready to go. But again, great job on first down for Pinconning to get 7 yards. Really opens things up. We'll see if they decide to do anything special here. I think they're just going to go power here.
Oh, you're going with what works. Fork again on the carry. Goes over the right side. Gets about 5-6 yards on the carry, which will be a Pinconning Spartan first down.
Well, and you look at Norman taking blocked and 5 yards past the play sustaining his block. So you got to really give the big dogs up front a little love, and you got to give those lead backs too, because they're all finding a body and they are all hitting it.
Well, I think one of the things we talked to and alluded to earlier is the patience of these backs. Initially they were getting the ball and almost going too fast before their blocks were allowing themselves to set up. Now they're being a little bit more patient, kind of seeing what's there, and then at the right amount or the right time, plant that foot and try to cut.
So about a yard for Fork. But they're really trying to go strong side to the near side of the short side of the field, and they're still having success with that. So, again, I really think these runs are setting up a counter-action play. They tried it late in the first half, and they coughed it up. But if they hang on to it, that was a big play.
Yeah, you're going to look for Rugenstein on a possible counter here, whether it's this play or not. But I think they're softening that Jaguar defense up, getting them leaning one way.
Again, sliding upfield, and the Jaguar defense only gives up another 1 yard gain as the Pinconning area Spartans, this time the ball carrier on it.
Fork again on the carry.
Fork is really doing
workhorse
yeoman's job tonight. And, again, are they set up right here for the counter? I think they are set up, but I think – whenever I try and outguess Coach Mulligan or any other coach, I usually end up on the short end of that stick.
Well, we'll find out how close you are.
Always fun bumping heads. Again to the short side of the field, and a nice gain of about 5 yards down to the 35-yard line. And, boy, I don't know. He got down to the 35 before he was pulled back. I think he got shortchanged on about 1.5 yards there.
I thought so, too. I thought both of the side judges is what we call them, the side judge.
Nope, the head linesman on the other side, line judge on the side.
Line judge, okay. Yep. So, yeah, I thought for sure he had hit the 35 before, but that was number 16, Darius Cooper, the junior, on the run. Go for it, 4th down and 4. This is your type of football right here. Again, continue to establish your dominance there in the trenches.
As they try and cut to the outside. Nice little gap to the outside, and more is number 16. Cooper turns the corners down to the 6-yard line.
Well, they set him up not for the counter, but let's go to the wide side. Or as you say, the far side.
Yeah.
Or the other side.
When you go to the strong side, which is the wide side, you really give your running back a couple of extra options for running lanes.
Absolutely, and he hit the one gap, and he just kept going.
Well, he cut inside, and then once he got past the line of scrimmage, found daylight to the outside. So I think that was a fabulous, patient run for a 1st and goal just outside the 5-yard line. As the Spartans come up to that line of scrimmage again. Coming to the near side of the field, success. Down inside the 5, into the end zone. It's a Pinconning area Spartan touchdown.
Darius Cooper, we just talked about his patience on the previous run. That one, no different. He waited and waited and waited, and he danced in there untouched.
And the try for extra point. I'm trying to get CJ's attention here. We'll get that during the timeout. I got to get in on 50-50. It could be worth $1,000.
Well,
the extra point is up. It's good. Hold the thought, partner. We'll come back after the break. It's 28-6. A great starting statement in the third quarter for the Spartans. Back in a moment on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, just as Coach Mulligan drew it up at halftime. And there's another ball that's going to be taken back on the 28-yard line. And there's a return back up over the 40. That's potentially why they're choosing the shorter kicks, to not give up the possibility of the big return. So a nice Rugenstein tackle there kept that from being a huge return. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for the Jags.
Well, it's about their average starting field position, whether you squib it, whether you kick it a little bit deeper. But overall, you're starting right here. But, again, I think this is going to be key for the defense for the Spartans to make something happen. Again, reinforce that mentality that they started with, get a couple of quick stops, maybe put Flint behind the sticks. You never know. Maybe even cause a little turnover out there.
Well, the linebackers are going to be looking to shoot some gaps, because that's exactly, they've made a lot of negative plays on first down and put them in 2nd and long. There's another one that is looked like the quarterback was actually shocked that the snap came, and it went right between the running back and the quarterback, and there's another negative play of almost 10 yards.
I thought there was a little procedure there myself, just the way that everything came out of there. And
what happened, though, it looked funny, but the center snapped the ball and nobody else moved, so that usually indicates that the center missed the snap count, because the quarterback was even surprised by it.
One guy you don't want to surprise is your quarterback.
That is correct. So it'll be 2nd down and 20 yards to go, as that is not the recipe for success, to have negative yards continuously on first down.
No, we talked about adjustments, and it'd be interesting to see. But, again, you're not trying to adjust for a 2nd and 19 situation, as they hand the ball off, and a quick dart through the right side. It gets them about 8 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down in about 12. We'll call it 3rd down 11 and a half.
You see the ability from the Jaguars from Flint, though, Jason. Once they turn the corner, plant their feet, and they're heading north and south, there's quickness there, and the defense has very little time to react to keep from a big play happening.
Well, we talked about speed versus slugs. Pinconning is methodical. They're slower. They're waiting for their blocks. They're waiting for their gaps to open up. And Flint's looking to hit those gaps quickly.
As it's 3rd down and 11. And, again, great job of pressure. And the Pinconning defense was out there 3 deep waiting for that pass play. It's completed for about a 5-yard loss on the play.
I thought the first thing that happened was they got pressure on the quarterback, which delayed the throw and then made the throw go a little higher. And when that happens, your defensive backfield has an opportunity to creep up and get a little closer to make something happen there.
So it will be 4th down and about 15 yards to go, and they're going to attempt to punt this football, and that will give an opportunity for the Pinconning area Spartans. And again, Hoffman is getting inching closer and closer. He knows that there's not a thunderfoot here from the kicker, Brown. So there is a high snap, and they're going to be able to just get it off. It was partially blocked, and that ball is going to drop down for a negative 1 yard punt. And the Spartans will start in plus territory, trying to add to their 28-6 lead.
With 5 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the third quarter, Pinconning is feeling very good about what's going on out there on that football field.
So if I'm Coach Mulligan, and when I send the offense out, everything I'm talking about is no turnovers. Hang on to the football. I don't care if we don't move it a yard. Don't give the ball up. And if the Spartans can do that, the way their defense is playing, they're putting themselves in position for a nice 2-game winning streak.
Well, I think more importantly, he's saying, let's go and take this ball in the end zone and let's continue to put the nails in the coffin here.
Again, coming around the corner, the defense is really not doing a great job of containing. Their team speed gets to the football as Fork does a nice job. Richardson, amongst others, gets to the corner, but they're really peeking in the backfield before they're containing.
Brings up 2nd and 7 for Pinconning.
As now we've got timeout, Jags. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local destination for custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional goods in the Great Lakes Bay region. With not one, not two, but 3 convenient locations right here in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region, we're your MVP when it comes to branded gear that hits the mark. For over 15 years, we've believed in community, in delivering top-tier quality, and in making your brand shine brighter than ever. And guess what? We're not just about sports. From schools to clubs, from businesses to community events, we're your one-stop shop for custom apparel that makes a statement. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, to make an impact, and to fuel your passion, choose Sandlot. Visit us today at one of our 3 unbeatable locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, or check us out online at sandlotsports301.com. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your brand, our passion.
Back on Bay County TV as it will be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Pinconning really catches the defense not ready to go and banging forward for another 3 yards is Fork. Fork doing a great job, and now that sets up a very manageable 3rd and 3.
Well, it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, but again, you're 2 down, so you're going to get a couple yards here, get a couple yards on 4th down. You want to keep the clock moving, you want to keep them sticks moving, you want to keep that momentum going, you want to keep this crowd entertained. There's a lot of things that are going on with this play.
Let's see what they decide to do here on 3rd down and long 3. Again, a high snap and a nice job of not having negative yardage. Getting back to the line of scrimmage was Fork. So 4th down and 3, you kind of would have hoped that you're going to get part of that. And we're going to have the Pinconning area Spartans taking their first time out of this 3rd quarter with 4:55 left in the 3rd. 28-6, they're up. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back here on Bay County TV, the cheerleaders are having a little fun.
Cotton Eye Joe never hurt nobody.
Yes, indeed. Back to the action here on a big 4th down and 4 yard to go situation. What do? They're going to come out with a nice little swing pass in and out of the hands of Nishatka, who had that thing just perfectly thrown his way. What a great play call.
Play call was great. The execution not so great. However, again, the little wheel route, that was something that they have not shown the Jaguar defense at all. And
well, he just got rid of his gloves. He had gloves on, and that ball slipped right through. And I was never a fan of gloves. I always liked the feel of it. You lick the fingertips and let that ball come right in.
If Nishatka caught that ball, he'd be on Linwood Road right now.
he would still be running moving forward. So it will be 1st and 10 for the Flint Jaguars as they'll have an opportunity of their second offensive possession here with 4:49 left in our third quarter of play.
Well, the defense has been stout. Why change anything right now? Let's look for a little bit more pressure. Again, trying to maintain their gap assignments. Quick throw.
And again, a nice reception that time by number 18, Anderson. Anderson was finally corralled defensively by Nishatka. Nishatka made the tackles. He says, I feel better without those gloves.
I can tackle better. I think what you're going to see out of Flint right there, last couple of completions have been quick passes, trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, try to get him on the edge, try to use that speed. But, again, give credit to the Pinconning defense. They're up for the challenge.
Well, and Pinconning's putting pressure on with just bringing 4, and that's nice because when you can set 7 back in defense, now they're coming with a blitz, and that ball down on the ground again. Every time they have had a missed snap from the center, it seems like they lose 10 yards.
Yeah, that was not, again, after a nice gain on first down, that left them second and 4. Now they're going to be a third and about 15. If my eyes aren't too deceitful.
They're not deceitful. Yeah. They're spot on.
And good thing that quarterback jumped on the ball. The Rugenstein was sniffing the ball and would have loved to have come up with a big turnover there. But nonetheless, that possession right there is no worse than a turnover for the Spartan defense.
Well, Alan Whiting gets a chance to get a blow, too, coming off the field. So you can mix and match some pieces right now. When you play 2 ways, to even get a couple of plays here or there off makes a huge difference in what you've got left in your tank for the 4th.
Another quick pass.
And another quick pass, and that ball is nearly intercepted as it goes in and out of the hands of the receiver, and it's 4th down and about 15 now.
I tell you what, Rugenstein is going to be exchanging Christmas cards with that quarterback as much as he's been back there having conversations with him.
And the beautiful thing with that, again, is no blitz, and they get pressure on the quarterback. Coming into the quarterback's face, the direction he wants to throw that ball has a tendency to sail to get it over the defender.
Yeah, that was even a great attempt by the receiver to even corral it, whereas it was tailing up as Hoffman will go back to receive the punt, standing at his 46.
With that 4th down and 15, again, a high snap and another short kick. Just get away from it. I don't want that bounce in any direction.
Well, Hoffman was in the right spot.
Yep.
Goes down, lands about the 46-yard line of Pinconning.
He's trying to be an official out there, pointing 1st and 10 the other way. You just head back and get ready to see if you're going to have another opportunity to catch another pass. But again, excellent starting field position at the must have been touched at the 49 that we didn't see.
I would love at this particular moment to maybe go back to that last play, even though it was a drop by Natashka, to give him a chance to, or Nishaka, to give him an opportunity to make amends without his gloves on. But really, that was a well-designed play on that 4th down that just fell incomplete.
Well, and it's something they hadn't shown for the entirety of the game. So, again, banging forward for a gain of about 7 yards on the play, just refusing to go down. Fort gets a big run on the play, and you look at the big dogs down the field, and we're going to have officials timeout. We're going to have another injured player from the Flint Jaguars. Nope, he got up all right, so they're going to continue on with 2:50 and counting left in the third. 28-6. The Pinconning area Spartans have dominated this game from start to present. Up to the line of scrimmage. Again, strong right. There they go with that counter-action play. Oh, if he cuts that to the outside, he says, it doesn't matter, Mr. Doan. I had a great run there. Lalonde, if he cuts to the outside, still maybe was running.
Oh, I think so. I waited for it. Great blocking, good exchange on the from the running back to the counter, and Lalonde just if he pounced that one a little outside, he kind of got a little hesitant, wasn't sure to go outside, inside. But once he chose his direction, which was on the inside, he hit it hard.
Well, and the thing is, in the film session, we'll go, Lalonde, great run. Look here, if you bounce this to the outside, but he was following his blocker, and I think it was a great play. As They try and slide forward right now. The ball carrier, Fork, again, as he bangs forward for a gain of a couple of yards. They keep moving the chains. They keep eating up the clock, and they're working on increasing their lead.
He's going to need the homecoming dance tomorrow in the athletic training room so he can get a little ice bath. He's going to be banged up and a little sore tomorrow.
You know what? You're never quite as sore after a victory as you are a loss. So if he is in the ice bath, I think he'll come bounding out of that and
get ready to boogie?
Ready to shake a leg at the dance tomorrow night. Second down and 8 yards to go. Quick pitch to the near side of the field, and a great job defensively. Timing was off on that play just a little bit, but the defense, led by number 4, Nation Tyler, he really sprung through. And Tyler's been gimpy in this game, but he made a great open field tackle, and for a loss of about 4 yards on the play, 3rd and 12 for Pinconning.
No, he's playing a fantastic game. Bouncing back from a couple of potential injuries, getting off, getting a blow, and then coming back on, playing both ways.
Gotta love a kid whose name is Nation. As it's 3rd down now, Lauer's back, and he throws a little lollipop to the shotgun. Could not get it. The ball was thrown a little bit out of bounds. But just as you would ask for, Coach, let's go back to the shotgun, give him another opportunity to make amends for the last one that he didn't haul in.
You know, coming to the short side, it does limit how much room you have, too, on that wheel route. You know, you just wonder if you run it to the far side where you got a little bit more open area where, you know, you can use some speed and maybe even get a little more of an opportunity to put it out there. But, you know, when you're running to the short side, it's got to be such a tight pass, but that window.
That's a stronger, easier throw for a right-handed quarterback to this side of the field. So let's see if they don't try a little counter action here on 4th and 12 to see if they can spring one to the outside. Oh, again, the shotgun. He makes a couple of people miss. He's down to the 10, down to the 5-yard line. He left 2 people with their shorts around their ankles, as that was the best run of the night for Nashotka. First and goal for the Spartans.
Coach Doan.
Wow, what a great job.
What a great play call. Obviously, are these headphones tucked into Coach Mulligan down there?
Hey, you know, whenever I even think I'm in the neighborhood of those brain trusts, then it'll be time for me to retire. I, you know, even the blind squirrel catches a nut once in a while, but the great call. I think that they caught the defense off guard and a huge run after he hangs onto the ball, and now you're going to have banging forward. It looks like Fork is into the end zone. It's another Pinconning area. Spartan touchdown!
17 seconds left in the third quarter. 2 big scores in that third quarter, and I think they did it methodical. I think they did it the way that Coach Mulligan would have drawn it up. Couldn't have drawn it up any better, Coach, as he gets a couple more touchdowns there on the board for the Spartans.
And again, what does Coach Mulligan, as the extra point is up and good, what does that have to say about his confidence in the shotgun? I'm going right back to you in another big situation. He delivers. That'll pay huge dividends down the stretch. We'll talk more about it after this on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back on BCTV as they fake the quick kick, and I believe they're not going to squib it more than about 15 yards because there's been a couple of big returns. That ball pounces off the return man, but he gets on it quick.
Like Alan Trammell out there, gobbled it up.
Put it on about the 37.5-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. But, again, as impressed as we've been with the offense tonight, the defense has really been doing it. You touch it for good luck. The 50-50 here over $1,000. Oh, boy. We don't mind donating.
584.
We didn't even have any of those numbers.
Oh, well. When he handed them the money, we always say thanks for the donation.
We had alphabets.
1st and 10 for the Jaguars here as they're at their own 38-yard line. Again, a quick pass to the outside. absolutely bracketed in by the defense who keep them in bounds, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, 35 for the Pinconning area Spartans and 6 for the Flint Jaguars. Back for the final 12 in just a moment on BCTV.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Nice visit from Andy Kowalczyk, my old boss at Bay City Central, now the superintendent of schools, and all the fabulous things that are going up here in Pinconning. Second down and 11 yards to go for the Jaguars. Quick handoff on the inside. That ball carrier on the play is number 22, Jerry Neal, as he picks up a nice gain on the play out to the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up a third down and a long 3-yard-to-go situation as we're inside 11 and a half minutes and counting left in this ball game. The Pinconning area Spartans with a huge crowd. Again, the 50-50 winner was over $1,000. That's a great little boost to the Booster Club.
A boost to the boosters, and you can give a big boost to Mr. Holland, Cliff Holland down there doing his best to make sure that everybody that walks in that door buys something as a third down. And again, I was just about to talk about this was one of the first possessions where Flint had positive yardage on first and second down. The ball didn't sneak and squib away from the quarterback. They were able to get some things, and then on third down, who comes up big? That Pinconning defense comes up big, and they send them back 3 yards and make it a 4th down and about 7 to go. And again, you're going for it if you're Flint. So this is an opportunity right here for those defensive players for the Spartans to pin their ears back and just, let's go.
Gap integrity is still huge because you do not want to give up a big play. You can give up a first down. You just don't want to give up a big play. So they can pin the ears back, but they're coming with 6 in the middle. And that ball is underthrown as we're probably going to have an illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is going to be declined. They may have had 5 in the backfield.
Well, tried to tell Coach Mulligan what the call was going to be.
They had illegal motion on the offense. Obviously, that penalty is declined as it will be a turnover on downs. 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans. Don't look now, but with the score here, I'm going to have to look back in the record books. What would be the last time that Pinconning had a running clock that they were on the top end on? So
there we
Would
go.
that be huge for the homecoming crowd?
The Aflac trivia question for the day.
Yes, indeed. I know it's been a while, and we're going to have a Jaguar timeout. We'll take one as well and be back momentarily on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. Pleased to have you along. Directing, producing, and filming, Nick Page. Trying to cut to the outside again. No contain to the outside as the ball carrier was Cooper. Cooper picks up some yardage, and it's going to be enough to move the sticks. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans.
One of the things, Jeff, that's really impressive is a lot of these names that we are talking about are juniors, which means that as much as you love having a lot of seniors on your team, a lot of guys that are getting a lot of play right now. Aiden Forks, a junior. Hoffman's a junior. He's made some great catches. Rugenstein's a junior. Loris is a junior. A lot of these guys that names and a lot of workhorses out there, they're going to be coming back. This is big for them to. And again, so now what are you going to call? They were just shifting.
Yep.
Which is legal. Okay.
And it is now going to be offside on the defense. So
that's something you could talk to him as a coach, saying, "Hey, look at what are you seeing? Because we're just shifting and they're jumping. Like, what do you to the official? Is that a fair question to ask? I'm a basketball guy, so obviously I have the referees in my face every time down the floor. But when you're a football coach and an official, do you have that conversation? Can you have that conversation?
Oh, absolutely. If you present it correctly, I got all day for you as a coach if you're not yelling and screaming. If you got a question and not a statement, there's no better time than the present. As the ball carried this time by number 21 on the play, Lalonde.
He's getting that counter action right there, and that time he cut it back inside and definitely was the right decision.
Boy, they're just, all the buttons right now are working. And I would say part of that, both sides of the football, the Pinconning trenches have worn out the defense and the offensive lines from the Jaguars.
That, and I think you just have a lot of guessing going on right now by Flint and the way that the Pinconning offense, they're really moving a lot of pieces out there, logistical ballet, so to speak, where they're just guessing on which line or who has the ball or which way it's going. But Pinconning give them all the credit as they put the ball on the ground and pick it up and run it.
And still get 2 or 3 yards. They get from the 7-yard line, they get down to about the 5 yards. Norman says, I'll show you. I can play this just like a shortstop in baseball.
Well, Norman has been a lot of the carries down here when they get this close because he just buries himself in there for 2-3 yards at a time. And what do you need right now? You need about 2 of those, and you're going to be tasting pay dirt.
Well, all you need is a touchdown without even the extra point, and we're in a running clock situation here.
Oh, and then we get to talk about tips.
Yes, indeed. 2nd down and goal from the 5. Spartans knocking on the door once again. Gonna bang forward into the end zone. It's another Pinconning area Spartan touchdown! Oh, boy, was that ever a big one for the Spartan faithful.
They're gonna see something on that clock here shortly that they have not seen on the positive side in quite some time. I did send a message out to the Golden Tablet to see if we could get that trivia question answered. We shall see how busy he is at whatever game he is at tonight.
Yep, and he's got 6 options in Bay County and some other options outside of Bay County. Enciso with the extra point.
Or not.
And that is no good. Timeout for the moment on the field with 8:15 left when we come back from a commercial running clock situation up here in the land of the Spartans on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV as Coach Mulligan and his staff just did a great job at halftime of keeping his kids focused and got a couple of things ironed out and just been a steamrolling second half for both sides of the football. And again, that ball taken on the 35-yard line up to the 43, kind of dinks and ducks his way under a couple of people for about a 8-yard return. So another, as we've said all night, good starting field position for the Jaguars. They just have not been able to consistently move the football.
No, and their last possession, like I said when it was happening, their 1st and 2nd down were positive yardage. Has not been a lot of their series where that has actually happened. So, interesting to see here, maybe get a couple of different guys in there. And we're going to talk a little bit about this running clock and when it would stop and how it would stop here just after this next snap by the Jaguars.
7.5 and counting in a running clock situation. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. Run a quick slant in the middle of the Shaka. He takes off the gloves. He's got the ball at the 40, the 35, down to the 31-yard line. He says, boy, am I ever happy since I took those gloves off. Everything's sticking like glue.
Yeah, bounced, great position, bounced up in the air. He turned around, did a little pirouette, and all of a sudden the ball still was up in the air, was able to maintain the possession, and he's like, oh, look what I got.
Fell right into the breadbasket, man. It could not have worked out better.
All right, so going back to the tips situation in a running clock, you have 4 instances where the clock will stop, and the first T stands for timeouts.
Yep.
I, injuries. P, penalty. And S, score.
Tips it is.
Yes. Woo.
El Perfecto. First and 10 for the Pinconning area Spartans. They're going to try and run out a big chunk of the rest of this clock. Ball carrier again just banging forward is Cooper. And Cooper had another opportunity to bounce it, but he had a couple of big hogs in front of him. He said, follow the hogs. Looking for pay dirt and a 9-yard gain, and the clock continues to roll.
We're starting to see a couple of subs coming in, maybe getting their first action out there. A couple of guys coming in, a couple of guys going out. Well, you can only have so many in the huddle, boys.
Have a lot of guys coming out right now, and and you love to see the backups who work hard all week long getting some meaningful snaps on a positive end.
Absolutely.
This will make film time a whole lot better for them as they continue to get their skills fine-tuned.
Number 1 with the carry, that was Daniel Dubé, the sophomore, so getting his first and he took it all the way down. Boy, he was sniffing some goal line.
And again, Tyler is very, very slow getting up. He's coming to the sideline, but he's been a warrior for the Flint Jaguars tonight.
His coaches have been telling him, get back on the field. I don't know where you're going.
Well, he's been banged up. He certainly has been in on a lot of activity, and he's a warrior for that team.
I give him credit. Not only does he go off, but he has come back on every time. No different than being knocked out on the mat.
First and goal at the 9. The sophomore cuts to the outside. Oh, to the green grass of home. He's into the end zone. It's a Pinconning area Spartan touchdown. Wonderful job. Dubai gets the off-right tackle, cuts to the outside, and nobody home on the defense.
No, and again, it showed a lot of patience. And again, getting his first crack out there on the offensive side of things. So congratulations to Daniel on his score tonight. Yeah, that's going to be a memory that's going to stay with you. Homecoming touchdown, putting your team up
in front of a capacity crowd. The extra point is up, and it's no good. As we approach the 4-minute mark, it's 47-6. Back in a moment on BCTV.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Back here on BCTV, as we've got just over 3 minutes left in this ball game. As soon as this ball's kicked, we're going to have a running clock situation. Let's not delay the inevitable. Let's just kick this thing downfield, and they're going to back off.
Hey, stay with what you do. Don't change anything.
They're going to just do another pooch kick, and that goes down. That's a live football, young man. You better get after it. And he picks that up very gingerly, and he is surrounded by a sea of green. And that will make a 1st and 10 as the tacklers were led by number 16, Cooper. I mean, he's only done everything offensively. Might as well make a play on special teams,
I tell you
too.
what, him, Fork, Hoffman, Loris, Nashaka, lots of names we've been calling. Whiting, Cynic. What a great game for these guys.
How about Coach Mulligan and the staff pushing all the right buttons tonight in this football game?
They have pushed the motivational buttons. They've pushed the right call buttons. They have done everything at this point. As it'll be Flint coming up. Now we are at 2 minutes with the running clock. Nothing will stop this unless we hit that tip situation. And right now they're just hoping to maybe get a couple of good snaps and maybe some positive gains. But Pinconning, don't look for Pinconning's defense to let up.
Well,
a lot of guys in there getting their first action, so they're going to be ready.
I would be shocked if this offense has garnished more than 75 yards in offense tonight, and they're going to get maybe a couple of yards on this play. But other than 2 big plays before halftime, I think they've really been held to under 50 yards because they've lost 10 yards on multiple plays from just bad exchanges from center.
Yeah, they've been stymied. This defense is really done. They're going to look at this film, and this will be one of those great film sessions where kids are going to be coaches are going to be so excited that, they're going to stop at the CJ Sports Bar after the game, get a quick bite, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're back watching this game tonight because as a coach, this is just exciting. You want to go back and relive this as quick as you can.
Well, again, and I'm very excited for Coach Mulligan to have Coach Frazier here watching this, and that Coach Frazier values him being here, as this could be the last play of the game with 40 ticks left in the game. A gain of about 7 yards as Neal gets the carry moving forward, tackled by Dubai and company.
Always interested to wait to see who they give credits to and how many. Will they give a half a credit, or they get everybody get a half a credit on a tackle when it's a group tackle?
I think what I like to do is I like to try and find the first person and then give credit to the rest of them that come forward. But with 15 ticks left in the game, this certainly will be the last snap of the game, barring a penalty or an injury. And with 5 seconds left. A high snap. They're going to toss this thing downfield. It is complete, but that's all there is.
There is no more.
The final score in the ball game. Yes, you heard it here first. The Pinconning area Spartans 47 and the Flint Jaguars 6. Oh, what a great post-game wrap-up this will be in just a moment on Bay County TV. Back with a post-game wrap-up by Sandlot Sports as we just saw ourselves one fantastic game from start to finish for the Spartans.
Spartan domination.
Listen, the victory bell for the second week in a row after it being not heard for 6 years here. They got a little tradition starting here now.
Well, I tell you what.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, the Spartan domination, but I tell you what, there's nothing sweeter than the sound of the bell. Anybody that's had the success on their home field to be able to ring that bell, there's a lot of happy Spartans right now, players, coaches, and fans. So great to see.
When this game started off, an initial great first statement by the defense really set the tone before the offense even took the field.
I agree, and the one thing that helps is when you're so dialed up and you're so dialed into your practices this week after coming off their victory, off the heels of their win last week. You could just see, like that's why if they won the snap, they definitely want to make sure their defense was on the field first, just to kind of keep that going. And they went out there, they established themselves offensively. They came out, they established themselves, and really just a couple of plays there and there that you're, as a coaching staff, you're going, man, I wish we would have done this different, or could have done this different. But at the end of the day, it was a great performance by the Spartans, from coaching staff down to the water boys.
The execution of the game plan by the big dogs up in front really made it easy for the running backs and the quarterback tonight.
Well, I think what we saw as the game went on in that first quarter was the backs really being methodical about their motions. I think at the first couple of possessions, even though they did well and they scored, they were still kind of getting a couple yards at a time. They had to be patient. Again, when you're in the single back, you have got to get the snap first. There's no handoff exchange from the quarterback, so you get the ball right away. And now it's like, okay, let everything happen. Let everything do. And as they started doing that, we started seeing their runs get to the outside, their counter working, getting back to the inside when they did have corner containment. So you started seeing a lot more. And also let those big guys get out there. It's so much easier to run around or behind a bulldozer than it is running behind a Schwinn.
I just like the patience of the running backs. And after the success on the first, they were stopped and slowed down for a couple drives. Once the running backs slowed down and started reading those blocks, they started getting big chunks.
They did, and then again, you're able to run your counter. They're able to run this. They're able to run that. Aiden Fork did a great job. Hoffman did a great job. 16 Cooper did a great job. And then, of course, you had Norman that was just taking his 2 yards into the end zone when you got it down there. He was just feasting on the end zone. But really, it just comes down to it. It comes down to being patient. And as they get more confidence and your blockers and your schemes start to develop, and again, everything is just better with a victory. This film session will be better with a victory.
And, I've been a believer in Coach Mulligan since day one. Love this guy. Love what he brings to the table. He continued to preach what he knew would work, and it's finally bearing the fruit that he's preached for a long time. There is not a guy that could be happier for him than myself. And to see Morley Frazier here tonight, his mentor, to show what he thinks of the way this program is turning around, speaks volumes to me.
I think he's in a great spot. I think that, this job, when you took it a couple of years ago, everyone's kind of going, why? It hasn't worked out well. It hasn't done this. And when you have the mindset of a Coach Mulligan that says, I believe, and I believe in these kids, and we watch slowly as these kids have became freshmen and kind of taking their lumps, sophomores taking their lumps. Now you got some juniors who are starting to taste some victory, and a lot of these players, these playmakers, they're going to keep coming back. And as you said before, JV teams, 8th grade teams, middle school, youth program, the Packers, they've got a lot of positive action right now in their community with this football program, and he's done a great job.
Well, and you've got somebody that can consistently put it through the uprights on the extra point, and Enciso too. So they are really doing some wonderful things up here. And we talked last week, the success and the attention to detail and the concentration in the film room that they have, that's only going to get bigger and better this week. Now you start working on the little fine-tuning, the little things instead of trying to fix big things. And I look forward to seeing what this program's going to have moving forward.
Well, anytime you're mired in a losing streak or you're mired in some losses in a row as a coach, naturally you want to go back and try to fix it. You want to run something different. Let's do this. Let's do that. What I like about it is they are staying with what the philosophy of the Pinconning Spartan program is, and that is going to be to run the ball. And when they get on the occasion, they're going to be able to try to stretch it with the pass from Loris. But that's what you have to do. And as a coach, sometimes it's not that easy to continually believe in something if it's not working. But you got to really, 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 really get good at what you do, and then not worry about trying to fix every little thing, and keep going. Kudos again to and my hats off to the Spartan, the players, and the coaches. And really, I'm excited for the fans. I'm excited for the student body. Homecoming, a lot of people here. Great halftime celebration, and the win just kind of tips it off.
You could tell the excitement in this audience from the first moment and the first score. They sensed something special, and I don't believe anybody left here disappointed.
Oh, absolutely not. They're going to be. They're probably going to be in the parking lot. We're going to be. We used to be able to sneak out of here quickly, after a football game. And night like tonight, after a big win like this, it's going to be nice to have to walk through a lot of smiles and a lot of high fives. And when these kids come out of the locker room and their families and their friends are there to greet them, not with the hey champ, keep your head up. They're going to be like, hey, high five and great game. Well, that was fun.
Well, Coach Mulligan, thank you for the smiles you brought to so many people tonight at this game. Keep the faith, brother. Things are working up here. We couldn't be prouder of an individual than you. Individually, he's beat a lot of things in life. He's come back stronger than ever. Continued success, Coach, and keep this program rocking forward. That about puts the wraps on this post-game show from Sandlot Sports. On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. Great job again tonight by Nick Page. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you next week.